Taking a look at page 21 now, dividing fractions and mixed numbers. Dividing fractions and mixed numbers is very similar to multiplying them. We're going to follow the same steps. The only difference is that we're going to multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal of the second fraction of the divisor, of the number that we're dividing by. Keep, change, flip. Okay, great. So what's a reciprocal? Well, two numbers are reciprocals if their product, meaning what we get when we multiply them, equals 1. Or we can flip the numerator and denominator of the original fraction to find its reciprocal. So a few examples. Example 1, we have 5 and 1/5. Oh, nope. Example 1, we have 2/3. Excuse me. 2/3. All I need to do is flip these upside down. 3 goes on the top, 2 goes on the bottom, and I'm done. 3/2 is the reciprocal of 2/3. Example 2. Well, what if I have 5? That I can't flip that upside down. I'm not supposed to go like this, right? Okay. But what I can do is I can put this over 1. I can make this into a fraction. When I do that, now I can flip it. I have 1/5 as my answer. I'll let you take a look at 1/3. What can you flip that to? Put it in the simplest form. Example 4 is A over B. And we're just going to switch the top and bottom. Get B over A. And example 5 is, just call it C. How do we turn C into the reciprocal of C? Okay, once we find those reciprocals, now we need to actually do some division. So let's take a look. First example we're going to do is example 1, 3/2 divided by 6. First thing I want to do is find the reciprocal of 6. So this is keep, change, flip, just like we set up here. Keep, change, flip. So keep the 3/2, change the sign to a multiplication sign, and flip this. Remember, a whole number always be put over 1. So flip it over, we have 3/2 times 1/6. Simplify early or later. I like to do it early most of the time. And I get 1 times 1 over 2 times 2. 1/4 is my answer. Example 2. 2 and 2/3 divided by 4. This is similar. Now we have a mixed number, but that's okay. We know how to turn a mixed number into a fraction. We know how to turn this whole number into a fraction. Keep, change, flip, multiply through, and I'll go ahead and tell you the answer in a moment. Feel free to pause while you work this out. Eventually, you should get 2/3. Example 3, we have 4 and 3/5 divided by 2. As always, you can work these through now or wait a little bit, depending on how you're feeling on these problems. 4, we have 2 1/4, 2 1/4 divided by 3/4. Let's do example 5 together, just another one. We have 2 mixed numbers, 3 and 1/5 divided by 2 and 1/10. We're going to start by turning those into improper fractions. 3 times 5 plus 1 over 5 divided by 2 times 10 plus 1 over 10. keep, change, flip. This is 16/5, change it to times, flip this over, so this is 10/21. You can simplify a little bit. Divide by 5, top and bottom. When I do that, I get 16 times 2 is 32 over 21. 32 over 21 is equivalent to, well, it goes in once with 11 left over. So there are my answers. And I'll give you one more. I think there's a lot of room for it here. But let's take a look at 5 1/3 divided by 2/3. There's another one for you to do on your own. Some of these are going to have improper fractions that you convert to mixed numbers. Some of them might have improper fractions that get converted to whole numbers. So there are a number of ways that your answer could look. And let's look at the application problems. So we have 18 3/4 pounds of ground beef. We want to make 1/4 pound burgers. Well, what do we do with those numbers? Add, subtract, multiply, divide. We don't even really have a number here. How do we do this? So the first thing to do is to write in our numbers. That's how I would start it anyway. So we have 1/4 pound, and we have 18 3/4 pounds. Now I'm setting aside groups of 1/4. I'm putting this into piles of 1/4. And I want to know how many piles I have. That's division. Which makes sense. We're doing the division topic. So we're going to take 18 3/4 divided by 1/4. If we did it the wrong way, if we did it 1/4 divided by 18 3/4, we would get a weird fraction and we'd say, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. As you do it, you should get a nice number. Keeping in mind, we convert that to improper, keep, change, flip. In the end, we get an answer, and make sure that that answer has a label. However many 1/4 pound burgers. I'll give you a moment to do that. And number 2, we have 2½ tablespoons of medicine in 4 doses. We need to figure out how much medicine is in each dose. Again, we're putting these into 4 equal pieces. Again, this is division. And again, remember your units.